Happening now, the latest on a raid of Jamestown apartment police say has been searched for illegal drugs 3 times in the last year. And we're breaking down the Jamestown Fire Department's calls for service last year as the demand for emergency medical response is at an all-time high. Plus, a preview of this weekend's Winter Festival in Mayville, how this week's unseasonably warm weather is making a big impact.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen, in for Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, 6 people were arrested following a drug raid at a Jamestown apartment on Thursday. Investigators with the Jamestown Police Department say this was the 3rd search warrant executed in 47 Charles Street, lower apartment, in the past 8 months, just coming into our newsroom less than an hour ago. After the SWAT team kicked down the door, detectives conducted a search and located 10 grams of fentanyl, methamphetamine, packaging material, scales, and cash. Sandra Pavlock, Larissa Pavlock, Dontrell Butchman, Robin Hadley, Savannah Gross, and David Lindsay Jr. were taken into custody and face a slew of drug possession charges. Anyone with information about drug or criminal activity are asked to call the Jamestown Police Department tip line at 716-483-8477 or TIPS. An early morning raid of a Jamestown drug den has resulted in the recovery of fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cash. Around 6:15 a.m. Friday, Jamestown Police Narcotics Investigation executed a search warrant at 84 Broadhead Avenue and arrested Heather Keeler. In addition to the drugs, detectives also located 3 children and another adult inside the residence. The 37-year-old faces a slew of charges, including criminally using drug paraphernalia and criminally using drug paraphernalia. The Jamestown Fire Department's annual review notes an increase in medical service calls. However, the agency demands to extinguish fires has slightly decreased. In 2022, the department received 8,300 total calls for service, up 538 from the year before. While the number of fire calls declined slightly from 74 to 61, demand for medical emergency response increased, with crews responding to a total of 4,788 calls. As part of the agency's services, 3 new EMTs were certified in 2022. Over the course of the year, firefighters responded to, treated, and transported 1,300 patients to the hospital risking exposure to COVID-19 and other diseases on a regular basis. Even though the number of fire response calls went down, the Jamestown Fire Department was still busy responding to, extinguishing, and then investigating fire scenes. The department's fire investigation teams reviewed 61 fires last year, with 5 caused by incendiary device and 1 resulting in a fatality. As of reports, filing 4 remain under investigation. And we had spoken to those with the fire department here, and they are still awaiting an ambulance, which should be coming sometime within the next year. Sewer line repairs will force the closure of an intersection on Jamestown's west side next week. The Jamestown Board of Public Utilities announced Thursday that Steel Street at Harding Avenue will close to traffic next Wednesday and Thursday, February 22nd and 23rd. Motorists are asked to follow a posted detour to avoid the work zone during construction. BPU officials say there will be no access to Steel Street from the 6th Street Bridge, Fairmount Avenue, and Harding Avenue. Traffic will be detoured away from Steel Street starting at Barrett Avenue, except for local access. While the Jamestown Community College has opened a newly remodeled facility to kickstart the next generation of skilled workers.
SUNY JCC held a ribbon-cutting ceremony and an open house Thursday to showcase the new Industrial and Automotive Center.
I'm extremely excited. due to the support of some local foundations and some grants, and also the area employers that really gave us input into the programming. We're very excited to have this. This is going to lead individuals. They're going to be able to participate in short-term training. It's going to lead to meaningful employment. And these programs also articulate into our academic programs if students decide to go on and further their education.
Several courses will be held in the newly remodeled facility, with two particular initiatives taking center stage.
In this facility here, we're going to do industrial maintenance technician program, and we're also going to do a building automation program here as well.
The end goal is to prepare Chautauqua County's next generation of skilled workers.
Individuals that to take these programs do not need any prior knowledge or experience within the manufacturing area. We provide that foundational background, and then we also do the training that's required for entry-level and mid-level positions.
Enrollment for the newly launched educational effort is already underway.
Students can actually start signing up right now if they go to the website, which is www.sunijcc.edu. There's a workforce link on there. Click on that link, and it has all of the program information on there, including inquiry forms. So if individuals complete that, we reach out to them. They don't have to reach out to us.
In addition to learning more online, interested students and organizations are invited to schedule an in-person tour of the new center. Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Alyssa, thank you. New York State's Public Service Commission is reviewing the Casadega Wind Farm project in Chautauqua County. The regulatory agency approved compliance filings for the project on Thursday. The 126 megawatt project consists of wind turbines in the towns of Arkwright, Charlotte, Cherry Creek, and Stockton. The project review routinely takes place following 1 year of commercial operation. The Commission has approved the site's filings and also reviewed the project's decommissioning and restoration plans. Well, this weekend, anglers across New York State will have the chance to fish without a license as part of a free freshwater fishing days. The State Department of Environmental Conservation has received feedback from people who permanently picked up the sport after attending one of New York's free freshwater fishing days. DEC offers several resources for those interested in learning how to fish, including the iFishNY Beginner's Guide to Freshwater Fishing, which includes information on everything from rigging up a fishing rod to identifying a catch to understanding fishing regulations. This is the first of several free fishing weekends this year in New York. In addition to February 18th and 19th, free fishing will be offered on June 24th, 25th, September 23rd, and November 11th. Well, switching gears a little bit, not exactly fishing weather out there. I don't know if it's exactly nice fishing or ice fishing, not exactly ice. Can you tell us what's going on here, Andrew?
The Mayville Winter Festival. If it was today, I think it would be good weather for it. The weekend, sunshine returns. That is a live look over Mayville right now with the freshly fallen snow we had last night and the snow flurries that we have flying out there right now. And first defense Doppler radar shows plenty of clouds across the region and just a couple of light snow flurries dotted in the area. The high yesterday, we made it up to a high of 56 degrees, which occurred at like 10 o'clock last night. The low was 34. The record high for today was 63, set back in 1990, and record low of negative 31, set back in 2015. So for the rest of the afternoon out there, mainly cloudy skies out there, a few occasional snow showers out there. We're not really expecting much in the way of any more accumulation. High temperatures today have already occurred in the lower 30s, so we'll be through the rest of the afternoon in the mid to upper 20s. I'll have a look at that full forecast details, including the sunshine returning as we head into the weekend.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you then. As WNY News Now continues, we break down one of the latest budget hearings in New York State, focusing specifically on mental health. And later, today marks 2 weeks since the Norfolk Southern train carrying toxic chemicals derailed in Ohio. We hear from the EPA chief, who is surveying the scene. Stay with us. It's WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, Channel 716.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
We have continuing coverage on the legislators' budget hearings this evening. Today's topic, mental health. Our New York Capitol correspondent, Elise Klein, speaks to lawmakers and breaks down the hearings' talking points.
In the 9th of 13 budget hearings, lawmakers highlight a variety of issues in mental health, including wraparound services and the opioid settlement fund. But the focal point was the cost of living adjustment. For the second year in a row, the governor includes the cost of living adjustment, or the COLA, in the state budget. But some lawmakers say her proposal of a 2.5% increase for human service providers is not enough.
If we are considering tying minimum wage increase to inflation, why are we not using the Consumer Price Index to develop the COLA every year?
New York State Office of Mental Health Commissioner Ann Sullivan responds, the process of increasing the COLA is very complex.
I believe that the technology that has to do with how COLAs are determined is intricate, and I think that this year, again, I just have to emphasize that this is a back-to-back COLA for the first time in a long time.
Governor Hochul's total system spending for mental hygiene in her budget this year proposes $10.5 billion, an annual spending growth of 7.2%. Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins says that Governor Hochul's proposals are good, but feels there is more work to be done.
It's like so many things in the budget, there's always more that can be done. But again, the fact that it is a focal point for everyone for all the best reasons, and not only outside, but in our schools, in our classroom, trying to make sure that those services are available, I think will continue to be a priority for us.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
President Joe Biden says the U.S. had no indication objects shot down over the weekend are tied to China's balloon program. His remarks are the first he's made formally about the 3 items that were in Northern American airspace. The objects are believed to be much smaller than the Chinese surveillance balloon the U.S. previously downed off the East Coast. The U.S. is increasingly confident the 3 objects downed last weekend were Beijing balloons.
Now, we'll also continue to engage with China, as we have throughout the past 2 weeks. As I've said since the beginning of my administration, we seek competition, not conflict with China. We're not looking for a new Cold War, but I make no apologies, and we will compete. And we'll responsibly manage that competition so that it doesn't veer into conflict.
Going forward, officials are working on creating new protocols on how to handle smaller situations. Those could come out as soon as this week. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman checked himself into a hospital for depression. His office says the senator checked himself into Walter Reed National Military Medical Center to seek treatment for clinical depression on Wednesday. The statement goes on to say that while the senator has experienced depression off and on throughout his life, it only became severe in recent weeks. Doctors at Walter Reed recommended inpatient care after he was evaluated. His office says he will soon be back to himself. The freshman senator, who suffered a stroke right before he took office, stayed 2 days at the George Washington University Hospital last week after becoming lightheaded. So far, his office said tests found no evidence of a new stroke or seizure. While Friday marks 2 weeks since the Norfolk Southern train carrying toxic chemicals derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, state and federal officials are on the scene, and the EPA chief said it will hold the rail company responsible, but concerns about potential health threats are rising within the community. John Lornick reports.
Watch this. Just see that chemical pop out of the creek. This is disgusting.
While the Environmental Protection Agency is focused on cleaning up the chemicals spilled from the recent train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio,
The federal government will be here for as long as it takes. The president has called the governor and offered the federal assistance that he needs.
frustrations are escalating among some local residents.
Are my kids safe? Are the people safe? Is the future of this community safe?
I have gases from that creek in my home.
Surveillance videos obtained by CNN show sparks along the tracks at least 43 minutes before the fateful derailment, possibly caused by an apparent overheated wheel bearing, which is now under a National Transportation Safety Board investigation. And as the probe into the East Palestine accident rolls onward,
it shook our building, you know, it was serious when that happened.
Another Norfolk Southern train derailed, this time in Van Buren Township, Michigan, and hazardous materials were once again involved.
One car that had chlorine, liquid chlorine on it. It was on the unaffected side of the derailment, so it was on the track, was never affected, and no damage to it.
Thursday's accident caused a few traffic headaches in the area, but no injuries were reported. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Coming up, next we introduced you to our pet of the week. And later, we hear from the organizers of this weekend's Winter Festival in Mayville, who are tweaking their plans a bit due to our unusually warm weather. But first, we'll return with a look at our full weather forecast when WNY News Now returns.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
So you think you can cook? We're looking for chefs ready to test their skills, competing in a charity cooking show competition that features a platter of unusual ingredients, including popular local cuisine. Judged by a panel of local celebs, chefs are tested in 3 rounds before a winner is crowned. So you think you can cook? Register online at stsusancenter.org. Produced by Channel 716. All proceeds raised benefit the St. Susan Center in Jamestown, New York.
Slow down, and move over.
Move over. When you see signs,
Lights, vests,
please give us some room.
slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger,
This danger is real.
do your part.
Please
Slow down, and move over.
move over.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
15-year-old Yadiel Diaz was subject to a public humiliation stunt by a fellow student in an act of violence and bullying. Now Yadiel's mother, Raquel, has had enough.
Officials are trying to work with the county's homeless coalition to help support the homeless population locally. There are also plans in the works to build 2 new shelters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under cloudy skies. The current temperature is 24 degrees with a northwest wind of 16 miles per hour, and it feels like 11 out there. Well, Lake Erie. This is a picture of Lake Erie. Oh, I have a friend coming to do the weather with me. You'll meet that friend in just a couple of minutes. Here's a look at the Lake Erie. This was from Wednesday of the ice coverage on Lake Erie, which there's barely any ice out there now. There's only 1/10 of an inch, 1/10 of a percent of ice out there. So there's not much ice, and it doesn't look like we're going to get much ice forming anytime soon. The NOAA temperature outlook for the month of March favors temperatures just about at average, near normal for the month of March across western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania. So we're not really going to have a lot of cold air. Well, I guess we should see, but average temperatures is what the NOAA temperature outlook favors for March. Here's what's happening across the Northeast right now. That low pressure system with the cold front moved through last night, and now we got some colder air and snow showers behind it, and high pressure will be building in through the rest of the weekend, and it's going to provide dry weather through the weekend. So for the afternoon out there, mainly cloudy skies, just a couple of snow showers through the afternoon. Snow showers will begin to come to an end tonight as that high pressure builds in. Tomorrow we start the day off with a few clouds, and then sunshine breaks out through the afternoon. We should go partly to mostly sunny skies through the rest of the afternoon, and partly cloudy skies heading into tomorrow night. And then as we head into Sunday, there will be some more clouds around on Sunday, but the day should be mainly dry. So planning out the weekend, here's what the weather is for the weekend if you have any plans. Skies clear out tomorrow. Temperatures in upper 30s tomorrow night. Partly cloudy skies with lows in upper 20s, and then Sunday we should go in the mid to upper 40s, just some more clouds around. And now the next 7 days from Ultimate Satellite Solutions. As we head into the next week, the weather will turn more unsettled next week, but will we get rain or snow? It all depends on the track of these systems. For now, we have a chance of a few rain and snow showers in the forecast with temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s, Bronson.
Alrighty, Andrew, thank you much. We'll go into our Pet of the Week segment. We're joined by Brian Papalea, kind of off camera right now, but that's because we have quite the rambunctious little one in here today. What can you tell us about our friend, which is currently attacking Andrew's leg?
I'm trying to get him back over here in the camera.
We have Samson with us today. Come here, dude. Samson is a puppy, as you can see. And if you are looking for puppy energy, somebody to play with, somebody to train, to work with, there you go. See, he's got a little bit of stuff, but he is the guy for you. And we know there's a lot of people that do love puppies. And look at that.
Quite the small one. I don't think that.
Yeah, he's about 2 months old. 2 months, maybe 3 months old, and he is just wanting to go home. And some of what you're seeing, that was a cute jump. Some of what you're seeing is because he's, at the shelter. He doesn't have the home to run around in. He doesn't have, it's just, when you get him into your house, you're going to be able to see him actually wear out. You're going to see him grow up. He can grow up with your kids. It's just he's a fun guy to have around.
So do you know if he's all right with kids or other animals?
I think when it comes to the puppies.
No, not the tape.
Please be on the weather set. Not the tape. I think when it comes to the puppies, it all comes down to the education
not the tape.
Of the children and the people in your house, and that they learn to live with him as much as he learns to live with them. And
so rambunctious, it's so much energy.
They're ruining the green screen set over here.
Seems to be pretty interested in Andrew, though. What do you think over there, Andrew? You think you were going to take him home?
I don't know if I'll be able to control him over here.
Oh. I've never brought so much ruckus to the set before.
He's destroying our set over here.
But he does love you guys. Really.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, people that are interested in adopting can fill out the adoption form at chqhumane.org and come meet this little guy. And we also have some other puppies up for adoption too. We have actually we have 11 in foster right now, and there's a couple at the shelter. And so, if you're looking for this kind of fun, come on down.
How popular are puppies in general?
Not in the cords.
Assume very.
Yeah, they tend to come and go pretty fast. It's you know, we're not sure why Samson's been with us for a few months. He's about 3 months old, and we're just hoping, here we go, that we can get home soon.
Oh yeah. And do you know if he's trained and everything? A little bit.
He's gonna need some work.
But
This age, there you go. Come on. This age, you know, he's gonna need the attention. You're gonna have to, you know, train him to go outside. He's puppy pad trained. Right now I didn't have one, so the green screen kind of worked this way. But yeah, he is definitely gonna be somebody that you're really, dude. He's like this at the shelter too.
well, that's puppies for you.
It really is, and
just like little children, just
and if you're not ready, you know, and on the flip side of that, if you're not ready for this
took
kind
the
of
garbage
energy,
bag with him.
this is, you know, a decision you'll have to make when you get there.
All right, well, Brian, thank you for coming in. To learn more about Samson or other residents of the shelter, you can contact the Chautauqua County Humane Society at 716-665-2209 or visit chuhumane.org. Well, coming up next, when was the last time you heard someone complain about the nice weather out there? We hear from organizers of the Mayville Winterfest on what the warm temperatures are doing to this year.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you got to keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
The Mayville Winterfest returns this weekend. However, due to the unusual warm weather this year, the festival will look a little bit different. The star attraction of the President's Day Weekend Winter Festival is the Ice Castle, carved from chunks of ice harvested from a frozen Chautauqua lake. However, with no lake ice around, an alternative attraction is planned.
So the weather actually hasn't been ideal for building an ice castle, or even in years past we've done a snow castle, but we don't even have that this year. So, you know, we still have our full kind of agenda of events. We've added some new items this year. So we're just trying to keep a positive outlook and, you know that it brings thousands of people to our community every year. So, you know, I think actually with the nice weather, we might have as strong of a turnout as ever.
Instead of using ice, this year's organizers plan to repurpose the Jamestown Christmas Parade float, which will be featured during a special lighting ceremony Friday night at 6 o'clock, where the king and queen of the castle will be crowned. Even with the warmer weather, festivities Saturday and Sunday are still planned.
The polar plunge will be a little bit different. Well, we won't be able to go out on the ice and do a dive into the deeper water, so we'll kind of just run in from the beach in Lakeside Park. We have a 5K, which is back for the second year, Sunday morning. The volleyball tournament is a new tournament this year. So, you know, we've had to take away some things like ice carving and snowmobile rides, but we've been able to make it up with, you know, some sunshine and warmer temps.
While not related to the festival itself, winter activities like ice fishing, which routinely draws folks to Chautauqua Lake this time of year, are also on hold.
Dangerous conditions to be out on whatever ice is left there. So yeah, the ice from what I've heard, the ice fishing competition is going to be postponed. You know, just not the right year for it.
Well, festivities continue all weekend long. A full breakdown is posted online at chautaukachamber.org/